We're here to talk about our first date, which took place. Do you remember the day? Exact date?
Yep. It was May 29.
May 29. What year?
Or was it May 29?
I'm hoping she's right. I don't know. I don't remember the exact date. That's kind of lame. But it was in May of 2021.
Yeah,
So,
maybe June 2nd, I think.
Okay, neither one of us can remember the date. It was that important. I don't know if the date itself is that important, but the fun that we had was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we started talking sometime in May of 2021. I'd known her for a little bit. We'll share that story another time. But I talked to a friend of hers and asked her for information. She gave it to me, and so I sent her a message, and we chatted back and forth a little bit in May. And I asked her to, asked her out if she wanted to go out for some coffee or something, out to dinner. And what was your response?
I first asked if you were divorced.
Right. She asked, "Are you divorced already?" And because I was separated for a little while there, and yes, I was finally divorced. And so I responded yes, and she agreed to go out, and I told her where I wanted to take her, and then I heard silence. So you want to share that part of the story?
Well, I didn't say yes right away to the dinner. Remember, I waited like 1 week because you said you were going to Las Vegas.
Right. My brother there was some boxing things. He's involved in boxing.
Yeah.
We were talking about going to Las Vegas. I didn't actually go.
Yeah, so I waited like the last minute to say yes. I think it was Friday night. I said yes because I was like, well, if you really wanna, if it's really serious, I'll say the last minute, and then he'll change his plan. So I told him Friday night I could go on Saturday.
So I thought about taking her to a restaurant in a place in Maryland here, and it looked like a good deal. I Googled it and did what I thought was cool and everything, and then I asked her if she wanted to go, and then tell me what you thought.
Yeah, to the restaurant. Yes, I was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And then you had another idea.
I asked her if she wanted to go to an escape room. There's an escape room there. If you haven't been, it's a place where it's like a puzzle, but you live in the puzzle and you got to figure out a way how to get out of the room.
Yeah.
I asked her, would you like to go to an escape room afterwards? And what did you say?
I was trying to figure out what it is because I like being pampered. I like giving a massage, because
She legit thought I was gonna take her to get a massage on date one.
Because escape means I thought relaxation. So then I was like, I don't know, it's me kind of weird or something. I think he's trying to get a massage like next, side by side. So I'm like, I don't know about this.
So she didn't answer for quite a while, and I'm thinking, what did I say? I'm just going to an escape room. Like, did she have a bad experience in an escape room or something?
So then I on Facebook, when I log in, I saw my friend. She got the key that says, I just got escape room. So then I figured out it's a game. So finally, I text him back. I said, is that a game?
Yes, it was a game. It was a puzzle. So I've kind of figured out that she didn't know. So anyway, around that same time, so she agreed to go out on a date, and so I was trying to show my brother a picture of her, right? And so I went to her Facebook site, which I wasn't a friend yet or anything. We didn't know each other, and so I took a picture and like print screened it, and accidentally sent it to her of herself. And so it was pretty bizarre, and I'm thinking, after I sent it, I realized, oh my gosh, I just sent her a picture of herself from her Facebook site. Now she thinks I'm a stalker.
And I didn't even, it's not even a good picture of me. It's like, and then I was, I asked him back, I'm like, oh, and then after he sent it to me, he said, nice smile. And I was thinking, I'm thinking, how did he get that?
I could not think of anything else to say. So I was like so embarrassed that I sent her this stalker boy actually looking at her Facebook site. And then so I sent that message that said, oh, nice smile, trying to play it off. Didn't work so well. But we did end up going, and we met at this restaurant in Maryland here near the shore, near the river. And so we pull up and it's closed. And so for whatever reason, they must have had a power. This particular restaurant was closed that day. I didn't make reservations, but I didn't call to see if it was open either. It was a Saturday evening, and I know that these places want to make money, so I figured they would be open. So not very far away from us was another restaurant. And so we ended up going about a half a mile down the road, which was, there's a few places there to eat. So we chose this one, and we park and we go inside. And it's a pretty nice restaurant. And so we sit down and we're talking about what we're going to order. And I think we both had salmon. Okay, so what happens next?
Yeah, so I'm lactose intolerant. So when I was getting ready for the date, I was really nervous. So I'm like, what if they put butter or some kind of dairy in my dinner? And then we're gonna be in that escape room. I don't wanna be trapped. And I'm gonna have like a stomach ache, and I'm gonna have an explosive, you know what? Like I'm like, this is not gonna be good. So then when we're about to eat, we both pulled out.
So at the same time, we both pull out lactates because we're both lactose intolerant. So at the very same time, we sat down, we started tearing open these things, and I was like, wait a minute, are you lactose intolerant? She says, yeah, so am I. So it was like right there I knew. Match made in heaven. Finally, someone who can relate to that. So both we laughed.
Yes.
We laughed, and that was sort of our first bonding experience. So after that, we ate dinner, had a great time, chatted a little bit, and we went to the escape room. And it was really hard. It really was, man. There was no way we were getting out of there in whatever, an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed looking at the puzzle stuff, some crazy stuff. I have not really been to only one, and so it was really confusing. Like, what does that mean? We did some of the puzzles, but we kept getting clues from the people that worked there. They were giving it to us on like a television screen in there. So we needed help to get out. But she tells me afterwards that she was like really worried about being locked in a room with me and not having any access to get out. Is that true?
Yeah, I was, because I was like, I don't know. What if I can't get out? So remember before we started, I asked the lady, I said, can I get out anytime? Because I thought maybe the room was gonna be dark and stuff.
She was like ready to hit the panic button at any moment, but she didn't know me, so it was really interesting. They put us in a room together, but it was monitored by camera, so there was no hanky-panky going on there. But I think we had a really nice time and enjoyed each other's company. And after that, we drove back to the other restaurant that was closed, where she had a nice Italian place that we still haven't followed up and eaten there yet. We sat in the parking lot and we just talked for a little bit. And it was a long conversation for me, partly because she just sat there and looked at me like, I was like, oh my gosh, man, what is going on? So I didn't think that she was very interested. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to empty the clip here, meaning I just poured out my hopes, dreams, and everything about, where I wanted to be and things like that. I know she probably thought I was crazy because I shared all this information and she didn't ask for any of it. And so I just saw her listening, maybe shake her head once or twice. But I think we were there over an hour sitting there, or maybe 2 hours.
It was more than, I think it was more than 2 hours. But as you know, we were in the lockdown. So this when we went out, it was still COVID situation, right? So during that time when I'm locked alone, I did a lot of praying, praying for you, for a husband. So I asked God for specific things, and so before we went out on the date, was like, okay, God, I'll go, I'll and see what he has to say, but there's like confirmation that, I had to go, with the date. So then.
So she didn't really want to go. God made her go. Okay.
So when
Better than nothing.
when we were talking in the parking lot, he was like talking like, you know how the Miss Universe or Miss USA the last question. he just went on and on and on and on.
World peace.
And I was just listening and listening, and then I was so shocked. It's like every single thing that I prayed for, he was saying it.
Well, I wasn't planning on making this a slow process either. She was interested and wanted to move forward with what's next, or she was done, and I wanted to make it clear who I was. And it was awkward a little bit because I just wanted to share my dreams, and we will definitely do another video and talk about those things and some of the
Yes.
praying that we did prior to meeting each other.
Yes.
And how that worked too. But we just wanted to share our first date with you.
Yeah.
And let you know, like, hey, you know, how it all started.
Yep. And we'll make a show, you know, like part 1, part 2, part 3, and so on. So we don't bore you to death, you know, trying to
Right.
watch the whole thing. So, yeah, but it was an amazing first
So what
date.
did you think when I was there talking for 2 hours? Because I'm looking at her like, this chick is definitely not interested. Here I am spouting out like a fool, telling her how I love wildflowers and take pictures of them, how I run, and then how I, you know, have a heart for orphans and I want to be able to help and set up a foundation. I want to do this and love God and I want to preach the gospel and all this other stuff. And man, and I'm just looking at her and she's like, I'm thinking like, what in the world is she thinking? And she didn't let on. And so we parted ways that evening and I still wasn't sure what was going on.
Well, after you were done talking, or pretty close to it, you asked me if there's gonna be another date, and I said, I'm gonna let God to be the driver in this, because I asked Him for specific things, and then I said that because I am a flower that needs to bloom. I feel like I'm a flower that needs to bloom. So what that means is that I feel like I have so much love inside of me that it needed to come out, you know, and I couldn't give that to somebody that I know he's not for me, you know,
Right.
and I know that he's not, you know, that we're not like spiritually, you know, the
Right
same
on.
way,
Right
yeah,
on.
and so I was waiting to give that to somebody, you know, my love, you know, so that.
Well, she didn't let
that's why-
on that was the case. She didn't say any of that. Not for date 1 or date 2 or date 3. I mean, so anyway, I didn't know. I wasn't sure if we were going to go out again, but let me just tell you folks, I emptied the clip. She knew who I was before it was over. And I just, you know, when you get to a certain age, some of you young folks, you're going to get there if you're not already. That, you know, the games, I don't have time for games. I'm not looking for a party girl. I'm not looking to go chase someone around at clubs and do those things. You know, I think when you grow up and you want to find someone that you can sit on a beach with when you're 90 years old and fist bump and say, baby, we made it.
Yeah.
And that's what I told her that I was looking for. Someone that when we're 90 years old, we'll either be dirt poor, filthy rich, it doesn't matter, but we made it. We love God, we raised kids that, you know, that love God, and had grandkids, and just enjoyed life. And that's what I told her. I think that was sort of the end of our conversation that evening. And I felt when I left her, I wasn't sure. I just said, wow, I guess that didn't work out. Kind of cool thing that I left out a little bit was my daughters. The night that I was preparing to go out, I was changing clothes, putting on this shirt, and they're like, don't wear that, don't wear that, don't wear white, because white is, I don't even know, I can't even pretend. Don't wear those jeans, they're too skinny, or kind of like a weirdo or something. I don't remember exactly, but they helped dress me that evening, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're both teenage at the time, and actually they're still both teenage today, but they were both teenagers at the time, and let me just say this. They were teenagers, or they're still teenagers. How can I say
Yeah.
that?
Well, they helped him get ready. They told him what to wear, and I want to add that that night when he was talking, everything that he was talking about, everything that I'm passionate about, he's it. So I saw my future in him.
I'm glad she saw something
Yes.
because all I saw was a lady sitting there going, like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this man? Why wouldn't he let me leave? No, actually, we didn't. It was like we were just talking, but it was just me. I come to realize it was just me. She didn't share all her dreams in life. She didn't share everything about her, except that she was going to let God drive this. And I didn't know how to take that. I honestly thought when she's saying that she really doesn't want to go out with me, but God's making her, so she's going to do it begrudgingly. Like, oh my gosh, Lord, thanks. I gotta go. I have to go date this man. He's so
No,
whatever.
it's not that. You know, when you ask God for for your husband, you want to make sure that what you prayed for is what you're getting.
Okay.
Because when you're divorced, you don't want to make another. So, so that's all. And I saw a lot of things that you said. I prayed for somebody. Like a pastor. And I added at the end of my prayer. I said, "Can he be a pastor too?"
That's funny.
And guess what? You were already doing pastor.
Ministry.
Yeah, you were already doing that. And then I have too much passion with orphan because I am an orphan, and
Right.
I lost my parents, and someday I would love to maybe even have a orphanage home or stuff like that, to help those kids that doesn't get adopted.
I got you.
Yeah, those kids that they don't feel that they belong to somebody.
Yeah, that's the sad part for me is that someone like I've never known what it's like not to have a home or a family, and I can't imagine. It breaks my heart to hear anything different. But that's a wrap for tonight on date one. So leave some comments and let us know what you think. We'll press on and talk about date two and maybe how we met a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. God bless.
God bless.